ahead of their November 8th showdown. Virgil Ortiz Jr. is looking to take on Erickson Lubin, and respectfully, he's considering the threat of Lubin. So he's anticipating a good challenge from Lubin, but he's motivated to turn back Lubin's challenge. What we may see here is another candidate for Fight of the Year at the super welterweight division. And it's the type of challenge that both men need. And in order to advance, one of them is going to have to be successful. Ring Magazine had a chance to cover Ortiz Jr., and let's talk about what he had to say ahead of the fight and showdown with Lubin. The super welterweight division is about to heat up once again. And when the two combatants, Virgil Ortiz Jr. takes on Erickson Lubin, it is going to be a fight for the right for one of them to challenge for a world title sometime early 2026. And according to an interview conducted by Ring Magazine, Virgil Ortiz finds himself to be highly motivated to look good in victory, and he respects Erickson Lubin's threat. You see, according to the article by Hams Themistode, Erickson Lubin isn't some journeyman looking for a paycheck and an easy way out. And Virgil Ortiz knows he's hungry and determined. So while he understands why he's the favorite, it'll be anything but an easy fight night November 8th at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. Virgil states he has intellect, experience, and power. And he said that during their first press conference this week. He likes to fight. I've seen his fights before. He legitimately goes in there to fight people. I respect that about him. Well, one thing about Virgil is he's speaking facts here, because Lubin is definitely a fighter who will bring it. He has that type of disposition. He'll come in and challenge. He'll test the waters. He'll test your chin and your fortitude. And we know that Virgil has had some of those tests already. His battle with Sergey Bohachuk was one of those that some people thought he lost that fight, being dropped twice in that fight and struggling, but he pulled out a victory. And I think that some of that was a little bit of politicking from Golden Boy. But it's okay, because as the two men get ready to see each other November 8th, both have something of value. And as the article states and goes ahead, Lubin, who will enter the match with a record of 27-2, 19 KOs, Ortiz's admiration for him has only increased. With the 29-year-old on a 3-fight winning streak, he feels like he's just entering his prime. And no matter how impressive Lubin has looked recently, arguably no other 154-pound contender has put together quite a run like the current interim WBC junior middleweight belt holder. Ortiz, who's 27, beat Sergey Bohachuk in August last year. And before that, the Fight of the Year contender 6 months later with a disciplined victory over perennial contender and former WBA champion Israel Madrimov. You see, Ortiz, who will enter the fight against Lubin with his record of 23-0 and 21 KOs, understands that he's had a more balance of stoppages in his career, but it may not be that easy for the veteran Lubin, who, though he has 2 losses on his record, one of the losses occurred very early in his career against Jermell Charlo, where he was stopped in 1 round, and the other loss was a hard-fought match with current champion Sebastian Fundora, and it was due to some grotesque swelling in Lubin's face that they stopped the fight. But Lubin had put Fundora on the canvas in that fight, so we know that he does have the ability to get people down and out, and not just the guys who he fought coming up, but guys who are at the top of the sport. And this is something that Ortiz is taking note of. You see, those victories that Ortiz had, according to the Ring article, says it placed him firmly on the map in his 3rd weight class, though Lubin is of that ilk, if not higher. Ortiz needs to be on his A game, and even that might not be enough. Lubin is going to be facing an Ortiz who's returning from a hand injury and expects to raise his game a few levels to beat Lubin on a move to bigger matchups. He says, "I'm very motivated and I want to win and look good doing it. Being in the ring with someone of Erickson Lubin's pedigree just motivates me to train harder." The thing that I look at regarding this matchup is Ortiz is the type of fighter who will go balls out. He can be drawn into a firefight, and Lubin knows exactly what that's all about because he's been in them himself in the past. But now, again, being a veteran, he understands that he has to be heady when he faces a guy like Ortiz. So will he look to set traps? It'll be very interesting. We'll have a more solid breakdown as we get closer to the fight, but it's time to start putting it on the radar because November is just around the corner. What do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know your thoughts about this fight between Virgil Ortiz Jr. and Erickson Lubin. Who do you have winning, and what would you like to see occur? Leave comments and let's discuss further. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.